So we've got the VMAX, but now we've got the Baby Max. This here is my new 1986 Yamaha Phaser 700. To have those two together is very cool. For those who are new to the channel, I've owned this 1986 VMAX for a year and a half or so. Bought it last year in January. So I had a long time looking for this bike. VMAXs are hard to come by, but they did produce a lot of them. This here is a Baby Max, as many people call it, but it is the Yamaha Phaser 700. This is the OG Phaser, inline 4-cylinder, 5 valves per cylinder with downdraft carburetors, which make the bike breathe much better and allow proper airflow to get into the 5-valve system. This is an inline 4, that's a V4. It's called the Baby Max because of the looks. It's got the same high up indicators. A similar gauge cluster here on the dash. This one has 2 gauges up top, but both have circular gauges. A lot of similarities between the bikes, how they sit. Big scoops on the VMAX on the side, and this one's still kind of emulating that VMAX look here as well. Not to mention them having like cast wheels in the back and these alloy wheels in the front. Very similar bikes from the exact same year. The Yamaha Phaser was produced for a number of years, almost a decade, in every other country except the United States. In the US, the Phaser wasn't a 750 unlike Europe and even Canada. The Phaser was a 700 due to the Harley-Davidson rules. And it was only produced in 86 and 87. They only brought 2,700 of these bikes or so to the United States. Out of the 2,700, there seems to be less than 1,000 of them left. It took me a very long time to even see a Phaser come for sale, and there were a few that were in really rough shape. And then this one popped up about 7 or 8 months ago now, and it got away from me. These bikes are hard to price. There's not a lot of them, but the demand is also not quite there, just because I feel like most people don't know about these machines. I saw one of these next to a VMAX last year at Road America, and I thought this bike was super sweet, and I kept my eye out for them always. This one popped up. Someone bought this exact bike and did a decent amount of work and put a good amount of over-winter restoration work into it. Overall, this bike is super clean and has a lot of things that were done to it which are really cool. Some of the things not so original, like these really goofy mirrors that we're going to delete, these grips that we're going to delete. This handlebar also isn't original, so maybe source an original handlebar, put the original mirrors back on, original grips back on, because these just look wrong. A cool upgrade this bike has are super traps. Yeah, the original exhausts do look cool, and they're worth a good amount of money on the Phasers. They're hard to find, and no one's gonna make replicas because there's just not demand for them. But I'm happy to have the super traps because they sound really good. The one complaint I have about my VMAX is it's really original, really stock, but it's so tempting to put a proper exhaust on them because they just sound so good. This bike has about 17,000 miles on it, and overall is a very nice runner. Now the bike does have a few issues, but just doing a walk around in the sun here, this motorcycle looks absolutely amazing. Hydraulic clutches can be an issue with these things. My VMAX had the lower slave rebuilt. This one has it. This one has a new radiator, all the stuff flushed out. The carbs are working really nice, and actually might as well just fire it up here. These do have fuel pumps. The fuel pump was redone, but it sounds pretty loud. So we come here, we can pull the choke out. Is the fuel pump supposed to be that loud? To the one person who owns a Phaser in the comments, let me know. Sounds really mean with those super traps on. Makes the bike have a presence, a really cool presence. With all that said, we might as well take it out for a ride and talk a little bit more about the specs and things and the reason I bought it and all that while we're on the bike, because why not? I've actually had this bike for a little bit more than a week, and I'm yet to take it out for a proper ride. The fuel pump, a little loud. I don't know if these are supposed to be that loud. The previous owner did a bunch of stuff to it, and Maybe it's wired wrong or something, or maybe he didn't replace it. Not sure. These little mirrors here are pretty dumb. We're gonna be putting the original mirrors definitely back onto the bike. See, the engine runs smooth, but I hear a little ticking from the fuel pump, so I don't know if that's normal or not. So if anyone has owned any of these bikes before, let me know. These little tiny mirrors do absolutely nothing. You have to set them like perfectly in order to make them actually work. Well, here we go on the Yamaha Phaser. The one thing you notice about this bike, which is pretty interesting, is just how small it actually feels. The VMAX feels huge, and this aftermarket handlebar might be a little bit more narrow than the factory one, but the bike feels absolutely tiny between your legs. It feels more like my Honda Hawk 650, which I guess is not much bigger than, but it definitely has a lot more power than that bike does. The controls, unlike the VMAX, are a little bit behind your legs. That's the first thing I really noticed, is just how small and how kind of tucked forward. You're definitely more tucked into position than you are on the VMAX, but not unmanageable or anything like that. It's definitely not a long cruiser motorcycle, but a great bike to just go around town with. As I mentioned before, I've been looking for one of these bikes for a decent amount of time. This one popped up last year, and it just wasn't the cleanest, and I didn't have the patience to put it together, and before I could even really consider it, the bike sold. The bikes are fairly hot because of how low production they are, not necessarily because there's a huge demand or not. And if you're hearing the little bit of rattling, that rattling is from this chrome intake, fake intake scoop right here, rattling, so I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. Put a piece of foam behind it or something. Let the bike warm up a little bit more before we open it up. But super traps make a very nice noise. The brake feel, though, you gotta push the brakes quite hard. They're not seizing or anything on me, nor are they like spongy. They're just super tough. So I'm gonna pull that reservoir open and see what the fluid inside looks like, flush the fluid, maybe replace the lines. The previous owner had a bunch of parts that he gave me because he did so much stuff to the bike, all OEM stuff, and that's the reason I went and bought it. He has an extra OEM gas tank, extra plastics for the bike, all from factory, just extras that someone had taken off one of the bikes that someone had built. And I have all of those parts, including stainless steel brake lines and an extra set of calipers. So we'll go through the bike one time and kind of figure all that out, put the original grips back on, get new OEM style grips, get rid of these janky bar end cheapo Amazon mirrors because they just don't belong on this bike, and make it look proper again. Downshifts are very satisfying. This motor is very responsive. It's a very easy bike to just kind of put around like 20-25 miles per hour. It's still cold here, and you're probably watching this and you're like, buddy, it's July. Yes, it's still cold here in July, which is insane. I'm wearing my jacket and everything, and I'm freezing. So we'll let the bike get an extra second to warm up, but just putting it through a corner here, brand new tires, very smooth around the corners. It's quite the pleasure to take around the twisty turns there. Liquid cooled, 5 valve per cylinder. I'll put the horsepower numbers on the screen. We're going to be doing a proper review on this bike when I get a little more comfortable with it, do a little bit more information, do a little bit more digging. I just wanted to make a video with the bike, kind of an introduction. because I know I learn a lot from the comments as well. So definitely feel free to put any advice, information, or anything about the phasers that you know, because there's not too much content out there on them. So most of the stuff I'm gonna have to be digging up is from old magazine articles and things of that nature. Also, for those who own VMAXs, or I guess other Yamahas from this era that are carbureted but still have a fuel pump, I am always confused because I've had people tell me both ways. So, reserve. So is this reserve on, or is this fuel on? And is this reserve, or is this just regular tank and then you're turning reserve on? Because I've had people tell me this is reserve because you're turning reserve on. I've had people tell me, and I also think, that this being on the reserve side would mean that the reserve is on. Kind of confusing. Haven't figured that one out yet. I love carburetors when they're just nice and snappy, and the throttle response you get from them. Oh, that sound is just great. I also don't know how much gas I have left. I haven't done a gas fill up, so we should probably go do that. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Oh, the sound it makes is just phenomenal. It has a good amount of power. It's lightweight, but still very punchy, which is just the perfect recipe for a motorcycle. Bigger, heavier motorcycles are great, but when we're talking about just a bike you want to have fun with and enjoy on nice roads, there's not many things that are better than lightweight and great response motorcycles that have some power, and that's exactly what this has. Very enjoyable bike. I want to say this has a 5-speed just because I'm searching for a 6th gear, but it could just be that the bikes are geared very short. I wanted to say this bike was a 6-speed though, from the information that I was given. Or maybe Canadian and European models are 6 speeds and the American bike got 5 speeds. That could also be very, very possible. These mirrors are absolutely garbage. They don't look good, they don't function good. I don't know why anyone would want to put them on their bikes. They just look straight up tacky on a bike like this. They just don't look right at all. Very well planted. Very planted. You know, a lot of motorcycles from this era, or any bike that's not balanced, would want to kind of throw you off of it or give you a little shake, but not this bike at all. It takes these corners extremely well. Of course, this car in front of me going 20 under the limit doesn't help. I think I'm running out of gas. Not good.
very smooth. It also helps that these tires are literally brand new. I'm gonna try limping this thing to a gas station right now. We are probably 2 or 3 miles away from one, which is not good. Probably a little bit more actually, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna make it. Should have filled up gas first, obviously. While I have a little panic about my gas situation right now, this has been my new Yamaha FZX 700, the new addition to the fleet. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep this one. It would be nice to have it as a forever bike in the collection just because of how hard they are to find, but hey, sometimes, you know, you find another one or you just don't end up using them, or it's not worth keeping them along. Definitely not a motorcycle I intend to sell anytime in the near future, so it's going to be a bike we do some videos with, have some fun with, definitely ride quite a bit in the summertime and in the years to come. It's a nice running machine, so hopefully all we have to do is regular maintenance in order to keep it going, and ideally fill it up with fuel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it is a 6-speed. The gear ratios are just very short, which is cool because it makes it enjoyable to ride. Not so great for overdrive gear though. I'm still searching for a 6th gear with the thing, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. Short gears are always fun. Okay, now let's just hope that I'm out of gas and then it comes back to life after this. Yeah, we are very low on gas, so we had to been starving it a little bit. Seems to be behaving quite a bit better. Again, let me know in the comment section which is reserve and which is regular on, because still to this day, do not know. Yep. It's back. I simply just ran out of gas. Anyways, I'm gonna get this thing back home. It's been a fun little ride with it. Got the bike home. It seems to be running fine now that there's fresh gas and actually gas in the bike. I wanted to fill it up and I took the wrong turn because I started to have fun and then I forgot about filling it up at all. But that has been the experience with the motorcycle so far. Brakes definitely need a little bit of attention, just the small things, nothing super major, but it's an old bike, so it's to be expected. In the next episode with this motorcycle, probably be going through a few things like the brakes and some other miscellaneous bits, pieces, and just getting it a little more proper, even though it's a very nice example that you don't really see too often anymore. This thing is super cool to look at, so I'm gonna park it back up and enjoy staring at it until I crack into it a little bit more. With all of that said, if you did enjoy this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, go down and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos with the Phaser or any of the other motorcycles. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Quick issue that we've had with the Phaser. It seems like it's transferred over to the Hornet here. That is the next video and you'll see what's going on there. But after taking it out for the ride, I parked it back into the garage and I noticed the bike had a drip, and I just wanted to mention this. We had a lot of oil pulling up right here, and you can see that it's a little oily. So it seems like the valve cover, which was replaced by the previous owner, this whole valve cover and gasket was replaced. So I'm assuming that it either got pinched or maybe they're not torqued correctly or it's over torqued or something along that extent. I would assume that it just got pinched right here. It seems like it's breathing from right here. And there's a visible gap, so this was spitting up oil. So unfortunately, we can't really do too many longer rides until we get that taken care of, but I just wanted to mention this at the end of the video as a problem and thing that I noticed. Anyways, make sure you subscribe because in the next video, we're gonna be addressing that.